It is not often that a movie which is based on events of 1968 in America reflects activities that are happening in our country in 2020. I am not a movie critic or a technical expert, but I aim in this video to draw a parallel between the movie The Trial of the Chicago 7 and the current state of affairs in India. The movie shows the trial of 7 activists who were protesting against the American involvement in the Vietnam War. They were charged by federal prosecutors with conspiracy and crossing state lines with the intention of inciting riots. The director Aaron Sorkin has dramatized real-life events to show how a vengeful administration and a corrupt system dealt with dissent in the US. Does this word dissent ring a bell? Coming back to the movie, students and youth were an important part of the anti-war protests. Their passion and zeal for change is beautifully depicted in the movie. Back home, students were an important part of the anti-CAA protests. Their passion for justice ensured that the discriminatory law was met with fierce opposition. The voice of the young cannot be quashed easily. How did the authorities in the US deal with this group of young spirited protesters? The answer is simple: brute force. It's okay to get confused between the two scenes. Other than the color of the uniform, everything else is pretty much the same. One of the most detestable characters in the movie is undoubtedly that of Judge Julius Hoffman, who is definitely, to use a mild expression, prejudiced. He repeatedly stonewalls every effort of the defendants to prove their innocence. Back home, a number of judgments made by the Supreme Court have been. The riots which took place in August 1968 in the US involved thousands of protesters who were on the street. How and why were only 7 handpicked and charged, given that only a few student leaders and activists are handpicked and charged with being terrorists and inciting violence? That's a question that would make the ruling administration in our country uncomfortable even today. Coupled with brilliant acting and dialogues, The Trial of the Chicago 7 is definitely a thought-provoking movie, a worthwhile investment over the weekend, lest you end up with this question.
Any idea what's going on?
It's been years since I've had any idea what was going on.